What is up, guys? I hope you're well, and welcome to another episode of Entitled Parents. Oh yes! If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, maybe even that notification bell. But as always, I really appreciate you guys, and let's get into this. I'm a senior in high school, and I've never had an interest in a girlfriend. It's just not a priority. I'm not interested in the commitment or the stress of a relationship. And I've decided that I'll try later in life. Probably still won't like it, lol. But it turns out that the parents of a girl who I politely rejected were not very pleased. I have two friends who are girls, and I got along with them really well. One I've known for 5 years, and the other I met this year. I will be referring to the second friend as J, is her first initial. I met her early this year in one of my electives, and we became friends really quickly. She easily assimilated into our small little friend circle, and it all seemed well. Then she asked me out over text. I was thinking, oh shit, what the fuck do I do? And then she also texted me that she didn't care if I wasn't interested, and that there were no hard feelings. I was relieved because I really do value her friendship and wouldn't want it ruined over something so trivial. So as politely as I could, I told her that I just wasn't interested, and all seemed well. Enter Jay's parents. I've never met these people prior to the incident, but let's just say my first impression of them wasn't exactly a good one. The same day Jay asked me out, my mum storms into the room at night while I was working on notes. Here's the following conversation. What the hell is your problem? I take my earbuds out. What do you mean? Don't play stupid with me. Jay's parents told me everything. Wait, is this about asking me out? Yes! Her parents told me that you rejected her. Why would you do that? I mean, it wasn't a rejection. She told me over text that she was okay if I wasn't interested in dating her. And I'm not, she's still my friend. I show her the text on my phone and my mum calms down. From the way Jay's parents described it, it sounded like I flat out rejected her in an insulting way, which I would never do. My mum called Jay's parents back and said it was probably just a misunderstanding that Jay said over text that she was fine with it. Now instead of respecting my decision and resolving the conflict, Jay's parents blow the fuck up. After like 10 seconds of silence, Jay's parents scream into the phone. Keep in mind that I'm upstairs in my room and my mum was downstairs, and I could still hear this shit even though my door was closed. They shouted loud enough to wake up and scare the shit out of my dad. I went downstairs to see what was wrong and heard Jay's parents berating my mum for letting her son reject girls. They said that their daughter was perfect and I was obligated to date her. They also accused my mum of being a bad parent for not teaching me manners. My mum quietly but politely told them that I have the right to refuse and they should respect that, and that I've never been interested in a relationship. I shit you not. Jay's dad said that there was something wrong with me because every boy wants a girl. They screamed that they expect an apology shortly and hang up. My dad sat through the whole thing with his mouth hanging open in shock. My mum turns to me and says, holy shit. Jay approached me on Monday about the incident. Hey, my parents are kind of pissed. Yeah, I know. Oh shit, you heard all that? Yep. Sorry about that, I don't know what happened. I told them you weren't interested and they immediately lost their minds. They're fucking crazy. You don't say. It's okay. Awesome, see you around. And I thought that was it. I didn't blame Jay's parents at the time. I guess all parents would like to view their kids as perfect. When it's your kid, it's more special to you. So when the parents hear that someone didn't want to date their son and daughter, they can't wrap their heads around it. Why someone wouldn't want to be with them and they take it as an insult. The weeks continued and I forgot about what happened. On Friday, me and a few friends including Jay were playing Dark Souls 3 online. We're all in the party talking to each other when I hear someone shouting in the background of Jay's mic. Lo and behold, it's Jay's dad. Is that OP? Yeah, why? Give me the mic. Oh fucking Christ, please no. My friends legit dip and leave the party. I hear Jay's dad aggressively grab the mic and shove it on his head. He has it way too close to his mouth and I can't understand half the shit he's saying. Who do you think you are, you little shit? Sir, I don't understand. You fucking rejected my daughter and I demand an apology. But we're still friends. Your daughter even said herself that she doesn't care. I really appreciate her as a friend, but I don't like serious relationships. I'm sorry if you don't feel the same way, sir. I didn't mean any disrespect. Loser. You should be honoured that she would even bother with you. What kind of man doesn't want a woman? Enjoy your lonely little life. I hear Jay's dad throw the mic on the ground and storm off while shouting at the top of his lungs. Jay gets back on the mic and is now crying. I stay in the party for a while, try my best to calm her down. We kept playing and managed to beat mid-ear, so I guess everything worked out. I haven't heard anything from Jay's parents since then. You know that one video of the British guy on 360 screaming, threatening to kill someone online? And most of his shouting comes across as static? That's what it sounded like. Oh my god, can you believe that? Like, you must date my daughter, you must date her, being forced upon that. Would you really want someone dating your daughter who doesn't want to be there? What kind of crazy ass parents are these? And the poor daughter having to put up with it. And the guy, oh my god. To give a little background, I've had severe asthma since I was a kid. I've gotten better over the years, but like most people, my lungs are still shit. I started dating my girlfriend about 3 years ago, and she knows how vulnerable I am to attacks, and always carries an extra inhaler for me just in case. We were walking downtown when I started wheezing. I was already getting over a cold, so I didn't think much of it, so it scared the girlfriend. So she pulled me to a bench and sat me down while telling me to take it easy and take a puff. I spent the next 10 minutes looking through my backpack for my inhaler, increasingly struggling for breath. Eventually I gave up, and she gave me her extra. I took a few puffs, tried to work out my breathing while girlfriend was freaking out. She's seen me have an attack before, and I know how scary it can be, but like I said, I've gone through this many times before. While I was trying to calm the girlfriend down while taking another puff and discussing whether or not I should go to hospital, a lady came up to us with a 5 to 6 year old kid who looked like he couldn't give two shits about us and scoffed. "You can't do that." "Excuse me? You can't be smoking in front of my child." "Ma'am, I'm not smoking, I'm taking an inhaler." "No you're not, stop lying." "She's not lying, miss, she's having an asthma attack." "You're probably having an whatever because you're smoking. If you're going to smoke, please do it away from my child." "Ma'am, this isn't a vape, this is an inhaler." "No it isn't, you're smoking in front of my child and trying to cover it up." The cycle continued, me getting progressively worse, and EP started getting pissed, demanding that I stop smoking in front of her child. Girlfriend decided that we're done here and we're going to hospital, so I got up and started getting lightheaded due to the lack of oxygen. I take another puff, but EP snatched the inhaler out of my hand and held it above her head with one hand on her hip. Though this didn't do much because I'm taller than her. "Lady, fuck off, I need to breathe. Stop lying, I'm doing you a favour. Now you can learn your lesson about smoking in front of my child." "You can't just go around taking someone's shit, give it back before we call the cops." Girlfriend was trying to get me to go because we needed to go to hospital, but because of my hot-headedness, which I admit can be a problem, I was getting that inhaler back. I'm doing everyone a favour before repeatedly pressing down on the top, puffing out half a bottle in my face, just out of reach for me to breathe it in before I tried to grab it. She kept taunting me with it while emptying the bottle. If you don't know, inhalers can be fucking expensive, so I ended up putting her in an arm lock and grabbing the inhaler. I know I shouldn't have put my hands on her, but I was losing my breath, and I wouldn't have made it hospital conscious without it, and simply reaching for it wasn't working. She started screeching, which alerted the security guard from a nearby store. If you're wondering about the kid, he now was only paying attention to his mum screaming and crying because she was screaming. They took that away from my child, then hit me when I tried to get it back. Stunned, neither girlfriend nor I could say anything. The security guard looked at me, noticing my wheezing, then back at the two crying children, and asked if this was true. While the security guard's back was turned, she had this eat shit grin on her face. I tried to respond to him, but ended up in a coughing fit, which everyone was taken back by because I had not coughed up until this point. Security guard, seeing me dying, offered me an ambulance, which we declined, and said we'd take care of EP. EP started another fit of incoherent things and spitting slurs at us, and I finally gave in to girlfriend. We got in the car and went to the hospital. I stayed 2 days in the hospital on oxygen and found out I had a severe asthma attack, which if went untreated could have killed me. We did get a new free inhaler after I explained the situation, which was nice. The weekend ended with me getting a talking to from the girlfriend, how we should have gone earlier. I never found out what happened with EP or her child after we left. So, an entitled parent actually almost killed someone. Well, it's bound to happen at some point. It's bound to happen at some point. Jesus. Entitled mum wants my rare sneakers for insanely cheap and gets mad when I refuse. So basically I put my slightly rare Air Jordan 6 All-Stars up for sale. Congrats if you know what they are off the top of your head. These sneakers go for around $150 to $200 for an unused pair, and I wasn't going to sell mine for any less than $130. My feet are small, so I still rock grade school sizes. Either way, these sneakers were kinda rare. I put them up on this website. I forgot what it's called, but it's a great place to sell sneakers. So I meet up with this lady and her kid. My mum was there too, but she was in the car and didn't have any role in this. So I see EP and call her over. She walks over with EK and that's when it starts. Hello, where are the sneakers? In the car. So you don't trust me? Great first impression, kid. I have a problem controlling my emotions and this pissed me off heavily. I managed to hide it, however. You haven't done anything to gain my trust. When I see the money, I get the shoes. Fine. Is the price negotiable? What price were you thinking on? Something along the lines of $20. What? No, I'm not going no lower than $130. That is insane. What is wrong with you, kid? Have your parents not taught you anything about the value of money? The screaming came out of nowhere. I got a little freaked out by it, and I guess the kid did too because he started tearing up and moved over from EP. You don't need to yell, Mum, as I said they were going for $200 and I'm selling them for $150. If you're going to try and get them for $20, why would you make me come here? They're just sneakers. Why are you trying to ruin people's lives and rob them of their money? This infuriated me. They're just sneakers. They have a history and exclusivity. If you don't have the money, don't offer to buy it. Do you have $130 or not? EK proceeds to walk over to the car my mum is in and starts knocking on the door. The reason my mum wasn't part of this because she fell asleep in the car. It took EP 20 minutes longer than planned to arrive. I didn't want my mum waking up, so I walked over to stop his hand knocking on the door again and stepped in front of the door to stop him from knocking again. Hey, move out the way. I want the sneakers. Well, you can't have them. Sorry, kid. As soon as I said this, I knew I fucked up. Don't talk to my kid like that. In fact, don't talk to my kid at all, and don't you touch him again either. Listen, crazy lady. If you don't have the money for the shoes, then leave me alone. Crazy lady! I'm done with this shit. EP walks off in a fit and whispers something under her breath. I didn't hear what she said, but I let it go. I guess the stuff going on woke my mum up because when I hopped in the car she didn't say anything except, "Don't let anyone talk to you like that again," and drove back home. My God, $20 for a $130 pair of shoes. Jesus, crazy stuff. Mum tries to claim my PS4. Notice how it's mainly mums that do this sort of stuff. No offense, guys. This happened yesterday and I've never been so pissed off in my life. I work for a Facebook Safe Rides website. I pick up mums and children for a flat rate depending on how far they drive. It was my last ride of the day and I had scheduled to sell my PS4 and a few games. I get a message from the site requesting a ride, so I PM the woman and say I'll be there in about 10 minutes. I get there and the EM and her kid get in. I offer the usual bottle of water, gum or bag of chips to the kid and it's quiet for the first few minutes, minus the occasional question every now and then. I'm driving and we're nearing the turn as the kid is looking over the back seat into the trunk and sees my backpack and opens it. Excuse me little guy, you can't touch that as it's very expensive. He sits down but not before getting a peek and I hear him whining to his mum about it. Why'd you have that in the back if it's so expensive? I look at her through the rearview mirror and calmly explain, I'm selling it to a buyer after the ride, ma'am. And as soon as I finish, the kid starts whining he wants it and kicking the passenger seat. The mum is trying to calm him down and I hear her whispering, "Shh, I'll see what I can do, honey." I pull up to her destination and say, "That'll be $10, ma'am. Thank you for using company name." She hands me the money and I see her son grab my bag. I stop him and say, "Little guy, you can't..." I get interrupted by EM and she goes, "Can't he just have it? You're already selling it. Come on, he's a good kid." Dumbfounded, I managed to get her, "No ma'am, I can't. I already have a buyer who's set up. I'm supposed to meet soon." She gives me a very creepy smile and trying to be nice she says, "Please let him have it. I'll give you $20 for it." She pulls out the money and throws it my way. For reference, in the backpack was a PS4 Slim with everything. RDR2, Far Cry 5, Watch Dogs 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, with 2 controllers and a charging dock. I try to refuse, but before I can say anything, she's out of the car with my backpack. I run out to confront her. "No, I will not accept your money, miss. As I said, I already have a buyer." I reach for my bag and she yells, "Don't touch my bag!" And someone from the nearby store comes over asking what the problem was. I tell him the problem and show him the messages from the app I was selling and the ad. He goes to call the cops and the whole time this kid is bitching and his mum shushes him, but to no avail, it doesn't work. About 20 minutes later, the cops show up and everything gets resolved. After I show them the ad in my profile, I did sell it and I pray I never see them again. Crazy people everywhere trying to take free stuff. $20 for a PS4. I'll take that from you, my man. And this one's titled, How Dare You Pay for Seats in a Kids Film? You know where this one's going straight away. So a few months ago, me, my sister and her friend went to see The Incredibles 2 in the cinema, by the city, about an hour from my house. My mother let the three of us into the shopping centre the cinema is in and wishes us luck. I have the tickets on my phone with the assigned seats. The reason we got these is my sister is mildly autistic and it's just much easier to know we definitely have seats before we get there. We get into the cinema about 10 minutes early so we can get popcorn and drinks before walking into the screen and sitting down. We're all excited for the film because we've seen all the original Incredibles and we're hyped for this film. I was 17 and my sister and her friend were 14. So maybe a minute or two before the ads start, my sister and her friend go to the bathroom so they didn't need to go during an important movie moment. During this time, a woman and 4 children she was with sit down in their seats. I don't notice immediately because I'm looking at my phone. I look up and notice they're sitting down there, the mother next to me. I look up and notice that they're sitting down there, the mother next to me. Excuse me, those seats are taken. Well, I didn't see anyone in these seats. Sorry, they're my sister and her friend's seats. They'll be back from the bathroom soon and just hate confrontation, so could you please sit somewhere else? Well, I have 4 young kids here. That's great, but we paid extra for those seats. My sister and her friend had gotten back and noticed these people in their seats. My sister now wasn't feeling that great. Excuse me, get out of our seats please. Hang on, you're teenagers. You can't be watching a kids film. So, we want to watch a film, so we bought tickets to see it. Now can you get out of their seats? But you can't watch a kids film. You're teenagers. I mean, you're technically a kid until you're 18, so... You know what I mean, you entitled little bitch. You can't be swearing in front of your kids like that. It's rude. Yes, but she's being entitled for thinking she deserves this seat. Because she paid for them. It's a stupid idea for someone to buy cinema tickets for a kids film when they aren't a kid. But halfway through the ad she gets up with her kids to find another seat, and my sister and her friend finally sit down. The film was great, and we laughed about it afterwards. I always hate when you have to reserve a seat. It's like on the train, especially in the UK. If you reserve a seat on a train, you can guarantee on a packed train someone's going to be sat in it. Then you've got that awkward moment of when you have to ask, can you please get up? And then a lot of the time they have the audacity say, can I see your ticket? It's like, no mate, fuck off, get out my seat. Once again guys, I really appreciate the support, the love you guys have been showing me. Thank you very much. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button and that little notification bell. By now we should hopefully have a Discord channel going, so if you look in the description below and you fancy having a little chat, come on in. You're more than welcome. Take care now.